my professional athletes, their job is to train, right? So, they don't typically have these other stresses. They're not working 8 to 10 hours, 12 hours every day, and then going and, training before work and then working, say, 10 hours and then training after work. Like, their training is their work. So, that is essentially the difference between my high level athletes and my general population clients, is just understanding those different stressors that come in and how that impacts their autonomic nervous system. Because if my high level athletes aren't working that 10-hour job where they've got someone else to answer to, they've got deadlines to meet, they've got, people to get back to and shit to organize, then they're probably going to be in a position where they're not putting too much stress on their body. The majority of their stress is coming from their training. So guess what? Now we can really fucking get after their training, right? But then the average person, the majority of their stress is coming from family, finances, relationships, work, career, etc., etc. And then you go and add training on top of that, and again, you're just adding stress on top of stress. So to kind of tie all of that in with another thing you just said there about people going to the gym and training every day. I mean, if you're doing it for your mental health, absolutely get into the gym and train every day. If it's part of your schedule, keep it in your schedule, but also understand that there's a difference between working out and training. Working out is going into the gym and going, what can I do right now that's going to make me sweaty, get my heart rate up, get my respiratory rate up, leave me in a sweaty mess, make me feel good about myself for the next hour or two, because I've now produced a heap of cortisol and adrenaline, and I've become an adrenaline junkie. Because that's another issue as well, is like people who are in these highly stressed environments may have some dysfunction with the HPA axis, and they can't regulate their hormones and their adrenaline, their cortisol very well. So the only time they feel good about themselves is when they go to the gym and they get a massive dose of cortisol and adrenaline and all these feel good hormones afterwards. So if you are in that position, then still go to the gym, but instead of exercising where you're absolutely hammering yourself, think about training. Okay, training is different. Training is, what can I do today that's going to complement the rest of my day, add to my day rather than taking away from it, but also tie in line with the big picture. Okay, and that big picture might be, I want to lose 10 kilos. I want to have higher energy levels and vitality so I can play with my kids. I want to have, increase my productivity so that I can get a promotion at work. Everyone's motivations are different, but training is, again, it's looking at the big picture and saying, what can I do today that's going to move me in the direction that I want to be moving, taking into account the big picture, but is also going to serve me for today. And again, if your autonomic nervous system's under a lot of stress, you wake up in that sympathetic state, you've had, you might have a couple of days of really hard training, but also stressful time at work. Okay, going to the gym and getting a really hard training session in and exercising again that day is actually going to be taking away from your day. Whereas if you go to the gym and you listen to a podcast, you lay down, you do a little bit of breath work, you do some mobility work, maybe you do some light aerobic work, you're probably going to be walking out of the gym feeling better about yourself, and that's going to aid in that recovery and balance out that autonomic nervous system so that you get a better night's sleep, you're able to wake up the next morning on the front foot, feeling good and ready to get after the day, rather than feeling tired and being on the back foot and playing catch up all day. And then you can train hard again the next day.